So if you're digging into the Epic of Beowulf, you know it's so much more than just a cool monster-slaying adventure. This story is really a timeless lesson. It's a parable about the two great battles every single hero has to face.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The whole poem really hangs on this one major idea. On one side, you have death. That's the physical fight, the one you can't ultimately win. But on the other side, there's this quieter, sneakier enemy, oblivion, the fear of just being forgotten. And that's the real war, the war for remembrance. It's where Beowulf's journey truly begins.
So first up, let's talk about forging an immortal name. We're going to explore how the young, ambitious Beowulf waged his war against oblivion. This was his first enemy, and you could argue it was his most cunning one. Now you have to realize, these aren't just random acts of bravery. Not at all. These are like perfectly calculated moves to build a reputation that can't be erased. Answering the call, fighting Grendel with his bare hands, hunting down Grendel's mother. Beowulf isn't just solving problems here. He is consciously building the legend of the perfect hero, making sure his story is one people will have to tell. And this right here, this is the absolute key. For the young Beowulf, the victory itself is only half the battle. The other half, maybe the more important half, is making sure that victory becomes a legend. A win is temporary, right? But a great story can last forever. And this shows us the ultimate weapon in the fight against being forgotten: storytelling. The poem is totally self-aware about this. The songs being sung in the Great Hall, they weren't just background music, they were the engine of immortality. It's how a hero's name could literally outlive their body. Okay, now let's shift gears. Let's look at the hero's second and final showdown. After an entire life spent winning his war against being forgotten, Beowulf now has to face the one enemy he knows deep down he cannot beat. To really get what's going on in Beowulf's final battle, you have to understand this Anglo-Saxon idea of word. You can think of it as fate. It's this belief that your destiny is already laid out. And a hero's greatness isn't measured by changing that destiny, but by how bravely they face it, especially when they know it leads to their own end. And here is where we see this incredible change in him. The young Beowulf who fought Grendel was all about personal glory, surrounded by his loyal crew. But the old King Beowulf who fights the dragon, he's not fighting for fame anymore. He's fighting out of duty, to protect his people. He's not trying to build his legend, he's facing his mortality. And the most tragic part? He's abandoned by almost everyone. So now that he's faced death, we get to the very heart of the parable. After all the fighting, all the fame, and a truly noble death, what is a hero's real treasure? What actually lasts? The dragon, as you know, was guarding this just unbelievable treasure hoard. Gold, gems, the ultimate symbol of earthly glory and wealth. This is the prize every hero is supposed to win, right? And yet, what happens to all of it? The poem is just brutally honest here. All that incredible treasure gets sealed in the tomb right alongside Beowulf. It becomes completely useless, buried, worthless, and yup, forgotten. The ultimate prize of earthly glory is shown to be totally meaningless. So, this is what he really won. Beowulf's true treasure wasn't the gold, it was the unshakable loyalty of Wiglaf, who carries on his values. It was that funeral mount, a permanent landmark for all to see and remember him by. And most important of all, it was the funeral song, the story itself, which has outlasted every single piece of that dragon's gold. So for your essays, for your exams, what is the final crucial takeaway from this incredible parable of a hero's life? This is the big question the poem leaves us with. Beowulf knew he couldn't beat death. He walked into that last battle accepting his fate. But by fighting for duty and leaving behind a legacy of loyalty and a powerful story, he achieved a whole different kind of immortality. He might have lost the physical fight, but he won the long war against oblivion, proving that the only treasure that truly lasts is how you are remembered.